In historical terms, the use of electronic media as a means of social interaction is a recent phenomenon. Some focus on the harmful potential of social media, while others believe it will bring a beneficial transformation. One thing that's certain is that it's changing our lives.
Kids are not communicating face-to-face anymore. They're relying too much on typing, and they're losing how to talk to a person, and that's a big problem with our society today.
Conozco bastantes personas que han sufrido el famoso bullying a través de las redes sociales. Conozco casos donde se han ido al extremo de personas que se han quitado la vida por comentarios fuera de lugar de otras personas.
It has happened to my daughter a few times where she's really gotten hurt by words that people have said, rumors that have been going through, whether it's about her or a friend. It's horrible. They don't understand the ramifications.
These parental concerns were validated by Sang Nam, a professor of mass communications at Quinnipiac University and an expert on social media.
On social media, okay, students a lot of times don't go through that filtering system. Okay? So they sometimes just post inappropriate material because they didn't think twice. One thing students need to know is, yes, whatever they post or whatever digital footprint they left online, it can be tracked down.
In the age that we are in, there is no privacy. Our privacy is gone. All media can be either stored, kept, looked at years later. Something that a silly thing that you did when you were 18 years old can haunt you when you're 60 years old.
I honestly couldn't say how many hours I spend. I spend a lot of time on social media daily. It's an addiction, I've decided, but a lot of time.
Every one of my friends that has a smartphone, so iPhone, tablet, they all use Instagram too.
How old were you when you started to notice when all your friends started using it?
I started using it in 6th grade, so around 12, 11 years old.
En mi ejemplo, para mi hija menor, la privacidad es esencial. Lo que ella comparte va directo a mi supervisión.
I see a lot of arguments between friends, and sometimes it gets bad, sometimes they're good, so good and bad.
Very often children do not report the inappropriate use of social media because they're most afraid that their parents will take it away from them, will not give them access. And so they won't tell because they want their smartphone, they want their iPad, they want their computer, they want internet access, they want to be able to post on Instagram or Facebook and so on, and they're afraid if their parents learn that they're being harmed, it will just go away.
Parents need to watch what their kids are writing online. They can't just give them an iPhone, a $500 iPhone, and think that they're not just going to use it for whatever they want. You need to monitor it. You need to create an account yourself. You can't just think my kid's an angel. Nothing is happening out there.
I monitor her social media on my laptop or my iPhone. I have all of her sign-ons, so I can go in on her site as her whenever I see fit, which is usually a few times a day, whether she knows it or she does know it, but she knows I have the access.
On the swim team, I try to have the parents open up their own account so they can follow their own kids, and right away in our first meeting, I actually read tweets right from the kids' accounts. And what they do is if they're swearing or whatever it is, I read exactly what it is, and some parents are pretty surprised by what's said on there. So the parents need to open up their own accounts and follow their kids.
There are many benefits to social media in today's society. The biggest one, I think, would be obtaining and sharing information in a rapid manner. One example of this would be the example of the Boston Marathon bombing.
Soon after the Boston Marathon bombings, the FBI pleaded for people to send in their videos or pictures taken near the finish line where the explosions happened.
Social media not only changed the way we get information with something like this bricks, it changed the way law enforcement and intelligence investigate incidents like this.
So do they have people right now that are doing nothing but watching Twitter feeds?
Oh, yeah. Social media played a key role in identifying who these brothers were.
Reporters, friends, family got that information out so fast that people could share it with their friends and family, get people off the streets.
When my brother Tim was diagnosed with ALS disease, the community came together to want to offer support. And one of the major things they did was set up a Facebook account. It was called A Toast for Tim. And on that site, they advertised, which was our greatest fundraiser. It was a Tim Considine Appreciation Day held at Action Wildlife. And I don't have a Facebook account, so this was news to me and how it was actually, how it went out to so many people. It was amazing.
I think that social media could definitely be used for positive things, and I've seen very positive messages. I made a Vine, which is 6-second videos. It was an advertisement for a website called The Hunt, where you can post a picture of something and other people can post where you can buy that thing or find that thing.
Where'd you get your scarf? It's vintage.
I ended up winning the contest, and I was revined by 2 really famous Viners and gained a bunch of followers from that. And I won $500 too.
Joanne Freiberg from the Connecticut Department of Education explains how social media can be used in education.
Social media can be used in schools very effectively. It's not going away. It's not something that should be viewed as being a negative. It's sort of a neutral kind of, I don't even want to say technology, but a way of interacting. It's a complicated effort, but I think parents should know that this is a way that young people communicate, that young people know a heck of a lot more than those of us who are older about how things work, how to use the devices and how to use the media, and the fear should not be just merely to take it away or not give access, but to try to teach digital citizenship. And there isn't probably a lot of true bullying going on. What we have are kids trying to figure out how to interact.
Well, in my classroom, I don't use social media of any sort. My students themselves, I know, have their Facebook accounts and Twitter and all of that. And I think it will impact their lives greatly. It does. I'm not sure if it's positive or not.
I know that it has a large impact on this generation, some of it positive and some of it negative. And we've had those experiences right here at THS where things have gone on like bullying, and that happens. But it's also a great way for people to stay in contact. In some ways, more than they ever did.
I think kids should hold off on social media until they're more mature. I would say after they're out of high school, maybe into college, to keep contact with those high school friends and not use it as their everyday when they're 14, 15 years old, even younger than that, because then it's easier for things to get carried away. When you're typing, the emotion's not there and you take it totally the wrong way.
Eso depende mucho de cómo la persona lo utilice, porque tiene sus efectos positivos y tiene también sus efectos negativos. Positivo, obvio, si la persona los utiliza con un buen propósito, pero también puede ser algo negativo si la persona torna a utilizarlo mal.
There is much evidence that social media can have a positive influence on our lives. Unfortunately, some people choose to use it to harm others. It is also evident that social media is here to stay. Some people fear that face-to-face interpersonal skills may be lost if people rely too heavily on social media to communicate. As illustrated by this viral email, Albert Einstein, one of history's great minds, was concerned about how advancements in technology may affect the way humans interact.